SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2, the full solutions right here, right now. Let's go. Question 1. Dougie pays £460 for a new laptop. It's expected that the value will depreciate by 26% each year. Calculate the expected value after 3 years. So 100% minus 26%, 100, 90, 80, 74%. And that is 0.74. So you just do 460 times 0.74 to the power of 3 in your calculator. And we get 186.403, but 2 decimal places for money, so 186.40. 186.40, and we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 2. An ant colony occupies an area of 50 hectares, and there's an average of 1.22 times 10 to the 6 ants per hectare, so in 1 hectare. Calculate the number of ants in the colony. Well, the ant colony occupies an area of 250 hectares. That's per hectare, so it's just times 250. Times 250. Now, your answer is to be in scientific notation, but it might give you it without scientific notation to start with. So then I change that by writing 3.05 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 3. AB, AC and BC is in a triangle 25, 18, 34. Find the size of a shaded angle. So I've got 3 sides of a triangle. So I say 3 sides means the cosine rule. So you go back to the start of the exam paper and copy the cosine rule for an angle, which is cos A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Cos A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. SQA have been quite happy here that we're giving you A and that's A, so that's B and C. But I don't really care about the letters usually. In between is your B and C, and the angle's in between. So it's 18 squared plus 25 squared minus 34 squared over 2 times 18 times 25. Usually work out my top and bottom separately. 18 squared plus 25 squared minus 34 squared is minus 207 all over 2 times 18 times 25, which is 900. So that's cos A. So I do the inverse cos. I usually just keep it as positive and use a cast diagram. But we'll see what happens if you did it negative. You'll probably be okay. But I'm going to always do it that way because it's the right way to do it. Inverse cos 207 over 900 is 76.7 degrees. So now I need to find my angle by using a cast. Cos is negative, so it's not A and C, it's S and T. So that means that my answer for A is 180 minus 76.7. Which is 103.3. So we get 103.3 degrees, and we're done there. Now, let's just check what would happen if you'd done shift cos and done minus 207 over 900. Happily, your give you it is 103.3, so you're done there. Now, I never do that. I always use the cast diagram when cos is negative, so I'm consistent with all my working. But there we are. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 4. Solve algebraically via an equation. So we've got 5x minus 2 plus 4 is less than 7x plus 8. So expand the bracket. I'm not going to use a box for this one. 5x, 5 2s are minus 10 plus 4 still, less than 7x plus 8. Collect like terms. 5x minus 10 plus 4 is minus 6 is less than 7x plus 8. Now I like to keep my x's positive, so I'm going to move the 5x to give 2x on this side plus 8 is less than minus 6 is less than that. Move the 8, so it's minus 8. minus 6 minus 8 minus 14 is less than 2x, and divide by 2, minus 7 is less than x. I have solved it, you'd probably find like that, but to write it the right way, just flip the sign, x is greater than minus 7. Now you would have also had to flip the sign if you had done your x's on this side, because you would have ended up with a negative x, and when you divide by a negative, you flip the sign. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 5. This year the cost of Charlie's car insurance is $278.40. This is an increase of 16% on last year's cost. Calculate the cost of Charlie's insurance last year. No time means divide is what I usually tell people if it's not a basic percentage question. So there's no time, so I'm not doing appreciation. So it means I'm doing a reverse percentage. So let's see, this is an increase of 16% last year. So last year it was 100%. So that means that 278.40 equals 116%. So to work that out really quickly in a calculator, I just do 278.40 divided by 1.16 as a decimal, divide by 100 first. Which is £240. And you're done there. Or you could divide by 116 and times by 100, same idea. 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 6. Factorise y squared minus 6y. Common factor is y. Bracket y minus 6. Done. Hence simplify this. So I already know the top is y minus 6. So I need to factorise my bottom. So I check for a common factor, y squared minus 3y minus 18. No common factor, so it's double brackets. Now, you should be able to surmise or guess that you're going to get y minus 6 in one of them. But let's just check. You get y and y. And if you're not sure, you're looking for two numbers that times the 18, but add to 3. Just have a little note where minuses. So 1 and 18 doesn't make 3. 2 and 9 don't add or take away to make 3. 3 and 6, well, they do add or take away to make 3. So I want minus 3. So it's minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3. So in one bracket, I get minus 6. In the other bracket, I get plus 3. And now we can just simplify by same brackets, they disappear to get y over y plus 3. Do not be tempted to then simplify the y's because the plus anyway, you can't do that. You're finished there, and that's us done. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 7. A paperweight is in the shape of a cuboid. It consists of a hemisphere of red glass surrounded by clear glass. The cuboid is 4 centimetres with a square base of 7 by 7. And the hemisphere has a diameter of 6. Calculate the volume of the clear glass in the paperweight. So obviously the hemisphere takes up some space. So I need to do the whole volume minus the hemisphere. So I've got the volume of a cuboid. So the volume is going to be 7 times 7 times 4. Hopefully you can all do that. Minus the volume of a hemisphere. Well, check the start of the exam paper and you'll get 4/3 pi times r cubed. Now, let me just write that up here. That is a sphere. So the radius is equal to 3 because it's half of 6. So 4/3 times pi times 3 cubed. But I need to do a half of that or divide by 2. So times a half or divide by 2 because it's a hemisphere. Now, most people work these out separately. So 7 times 7 times 4 is 196 minus 4 divided by 3 times the pi button times 3 to the power of 3 is 113.097. Divide that by 2 or times it by a half is 56 point. Now, I wanted to do significant figures, so just a reasonable number here, 54866, blah, 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 and I've above it to round until at the end, 196 minus 56.54866. Now, it would have been 67 actually, but I've put dot, 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 so I'm safe there. So that gives me 139.451 and a bunch of other numbers, and I only need two significant figures, so I'm rounding here. That rounds up to 140, and the units are centimetres cubed. And there you are, there's your volume of the paperweight glass. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 8. Solve the equation 3x squared plus 8x plus 1 equals 0. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Well, this is a quadratic, so I use a quadratic equation, quadratic formula, sorry, because it says give your answer to 2 decimal places. So start of the exam paper says that x equals minus b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So in this case, a is 3 because it's the number in front of x squared, b is 8, it's the number in front of x, and c is 1. So x equals minus 8. Make sure you put this in right. Square root 8 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1 all over 2a, 2 times 3. So that is minus 8 plus or minus. Usually get a mark for working this bit out. So I'll work this bit out. 8 squared minus, I'll put a bracket, 4 times 3 times 1 is 52. 2 3s is 6. So that gives me minus 8 plus root 52 over 6, or minus 8 minus root 52 over 6. So I'll work them out separately. Minus 8 plus root 52 over 6 is always going rounded first, minus 0.131, which to 2 decimal places is minus 0.13. So there's my first answer. Second answer, minus 8 minus root 52 all over 6, or x equals minus 2.535, or a bunch of other numbers, but to 2 decimal places, that's minus 2.54. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 9. Change the subject of the formula to D. So I've got F, 2D plus 3 over E. So let's just times them together. FE, or EF, is 2D plus 3. Take away 3. FE minus 3 equals 2D. So divide by 2. FE minus 3 over 2 equals D. Or just to tidy that up, D equals FE or EF minus 3 over 2. EF or FE, usually alphabetical order is nicer than known, but it doesn't really matter actually. SQA National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 10. Karen buys a door sign for her house. It's 2 identical circles with the numbers 2 and 7 in it. AB is a chord of both circles, a line, in other words. And it has a length of 15, and the radius is 10. Find the width. So let's have a trace out of this. If that was the centre here, I already know that bit's 10. I already know from here to here's 10. So I really just need this bit. Oh, wait a minute, I just made a right angle triangle. How cool is that? So let's do that. Right angle triangle. Identifying that as the key part. I've got 10 here. And this was 15, but if I cut that there, that's cutting it in half. So that is 7.5. Now, Pythagoras says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And that is a, b, and c is the longest side. So I've already got the long side, so I'll take away. So I do 10 squared minus 7.5 squared. And then I'm going to square root my answer. So I'm going to do that in one go. Because I've got a calculator. 10 squared minus 7.5 squared in brackets, square rooted, is 6.614. Round is not really that important, but let's just make that 6.6 centimetres. Because everything else is two significant figures, so why not? So now we can work out our length, because we've got here to here is 10. Another centre there is also 10. And I've got double 6.6. Let's just double check when I double that, it rounds to the same thing. Yeah, 13.2. So that's fine. 6.6 times 2. And this length here now is 13.2. So I just do 13.2 plus 10 plus 10. That's 13, 23, 33.2 centimetres. I'll double check on that because it was a longer question. That's definitely 10. That's definitely 10. And that's definitely 2 of them. So I'm quite happy with that. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 11. Solve the equation 17 sin x plus 1 is 9. So it's a trig equation. I'll take away 1 for both sides. 17 sin x equals 8. And divide by 17. Sin x is 8/17. So I do the inverse sine of 8/17. It is positive, so that's great. Make sure my calculator's in degrees. Shift sine 8/17. That's 28.07. I'll leave it as an 07 or 28.1. And then we do a cast diagram. Now, our sine is positive, so it's these two angles. So it's x equals 28.07 degrees or 0.1, and x equals 180 minus that. $151.93. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 12. Express that as a fraction in its simplest form. Right? Just imagine there's brackets around this. We're adding fractions, so common denominator, times them together, x plus 5 over n x minus 4. This times this then, 2x minus 4, plus this times this, 3x plus 5. So that gives me, expanding the top, 2x minus 8 plus 3x plus 15 all over x plus 5x minus 4. 2 plus 3 is 5x. 15 minus 8 is 7 over x plus 5x minus 4. Let's just double check that. 2 times x is 2x, 2 fours is 8 minus 8, 3x plus 15, 2x plus 3x is 5x, and 15 minus 8 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now the only way to simplify that further is to check, is there a common factor on the top? Well, there's no common factor between 5x plus 7, so I'm not going to get anything I can cancel, so I'm done there. 24, paper 2, question 13. AC is 22, BAC is 40, then we've got 30, and when BD is perpendicular to AC, find the length of BD. So I've got triangles, so it's probably something to do with sine or cosine rule, and I need to find a length. Now, I can't really do much if I've got no lengths in this triangle and no lengths in this triangle. So I'm going to have to find a length. So I'm going to have to use a rule. So let's see if we can find out any angles first. 40 and 30 is 100. 40 and 30 is 70. So that whole angle in here is 110. And now I've got opposites. So I can do that and that go together, and then any angle I want, either this one or this one, and the opposite side. And then I'll have a side. And once I've got that, I can just use SOHCAHTOA, or the sine rule again, double sine rule a lot of people use. I'll probably use SOHCAHTOA for speed. So we have got start exam paper, A over sine A is B over sine B, is C over sine C. That's just to remind you, but it's just that I think about opposites. So I've got the whole length 22 over sine 110 equals, and I'm just going to find this one. So that is, I'll call it A because it's opposite A, equals A over opposite sine 40. So we can rearrange that. A sine 110 equals 22 sine 40. So A is 22 sine 40 over sine 110. So getting a calculator. 22 sine 40 divided by sine 110 is 15.048. So 15.05 would be reasonable in centimetres. So now we know that this is 15.05. So you could either use the sine rule again in the right angle triangle or just SOHCAHTOA. Let me just draw that out. I've got this triangle here, and I've got 30 degrees down here, and I've got 15.05 here. And I'm trying to find the height, which I'll just call x. So you could just say I've got opposite over hypotenuse, which is sine. So sine 30 equals x over 15.05, or x equals sine 30 times 15.05. 15.05 times sine 30 is 7.525, or 7.5 centimetres. Or if you wanted to use the sine rule again, then you could say you've got, if I just do this at the side, x over sine 30 equals 15.05 over sine 90. And if you rearrange that, you get x sine 90 equals 15.05 sine 30, which means that x is 15.05 sine 30 over sine 90. But because sine 90 is 1, and if you use your calculator, you'll get the same answer of 7.5. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 14. The diagram shows a rhombus. ZW is vector A, ZX is B. Find WX in terms of A and B. I know a lot of people don't like these ones, but I'm just going to start here and I want to end there. So I'll just take a route I can see. Down here, minus A, along there, plus B. Minus A, plus B. And we're done. That's it. M is the midpoint of X, Y. Find W to M. So I need to go to W to M. So I need to start and I need to end there. Now I can't go down there because I don't know anything about that. But I can go this way and I can go along here and then I can go down there. Now what's special about this line is it's exactly the same as that line and it's in the same direction. So it is actually A. So let me just write that here then. I'm going to trace down there, along here, and down there. So what have I actually got? I've got minus A plus B, like I've already done. And then down here is just a half of here. And I'm going in the opposite direction, so it's minus a half A. Because I'm not going up the way, so it's not plus a half A. I'm going down the way, so it's minus a half A. So I'll write that in the question place. Minus A plus B minus a half A, minus A plus B minus a half A. Simplifying that, minus 1 minus a half is minus 1.5, or minus 3 halves. Minus 3 halves A plus B, and we're done there. SQA National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 15. The diagram shows the sector of a circle, centre C. The radius is 12. The length of the arc is 15. Find the area. Well, that's a bit of a dodgy one. So to find the area of a sector, I need the angle. So I'm going to have to work backwards from the arc length. So let's call that theta or anything you want. Arc length, angle over 360 times pi times the diameter, which is double 12, 24, equals the arc length, which is 15. So working backwards from there, I can immediately get theta, so I always do it this way. I've divided by 360, so I times this side by 360. 15 times 360, all divided by pi times 24, because that's on top. (15 times 360 divided by, open brackets, pi times 24 is 71.6 degrees. So there's my angle. So now I can work out the area, because the area is the angle out of 360 times pi times r squared, which is 12. There's other ways to do this, but this will be fine. 71.6 divided by 360 times pi times 12 squared is 89.975. And it's centimetres squared, or you can just round it if you want, but it would round up to about 90.0 centimetres squared, which I never like the look of, so I'd probably prefer just to unround it. SQA National 5 Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 16. Express 3 cos squared x minus 1 in the form a plus b sine squared x. What the hell? That looks tricky, doesn't it? I bet you everybody thought that one was tricky. There's 2 you need to know at National 5. Sine divided by cos is tan. Well, we've got a squared, so that... Or sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. So we're going to use that. If I've got sine squared x plus cos squared x equals 1, and my answer, a plus b sine squared x, doesn't have a cos squared x in it, but I'm going to have to get rid of this cos squared x. So I'm going to have to rearrange this to work out what cos squared x is. Well, cos squared x is equal to, take away sine squared x, 1 minus sine squared x. So I can now just sub that in. So 3 cos squared x minus 1 equals 3 1 minus sine squared x, with minus 1 sitting on the end. That's 3 times 1 is 3, minus 3 sine squared x, minus a 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 3 sine squared x. And we're done there. It says a plus b. That's a bit nasty from saying that, but a plus could be a minus. I mean, it could be a minus number, you see. So 3 minus 2 sine squared x. I'm quite happy with that. This has been quite a master video. We went through the whole of 2024 National 5 Maths Paper 2. Hopefully you found that useful. This has been Mr. Clown. Today we went through National 5 Maths 2024 Paper 2. Hopefully you found all those solutions useful and helpful. And if you did, give it a like and a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for any other maths that you're going to do at any time in your life or to help your friends out. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye.